Alright, new video from Tectone. I am very disappointed. Already 10,000 views in 26 minutes. Damn.
Genshin best revenue ever. The boycott is failing. Patch 4.4. I think the reason
no.
why the boycott is failing, and the thing that really annoys me, is now that all of these little bitch content creators who have decided to, now is the time they have to have a problem with me. Again.
Damn. Hot off the bar. That's crazy. Off the start. My bad. There we go.
Imagine that. Analytics are doing good, and now is the time where all of them have a problem with me. And I'm going to be real, full disclosure to everybody watching my YouTube. I'm not going to let their levels of disrespect, misinformation, and bad-mouthing go unnoticed, okay?
That's awesome. Thank you.
Because these people have been me for 3 years, and they're doing all this bullshit. They're saying all this garbage to prevent me from actually talking out against Genshin Impact, because let's just be real, the majority of them are contracted for Hoyoverse. They don't want people insulting their company. The boycott is failing. I would honestly, at this point, I would honestly agree. I don't think it has failed. And in case you don't know, there was an article that came out against Hoyoverse the other day, which says that Hoyoverse has the slowest time to respond to consumers' complaints of pretty much any business by an absurd margin. I still believe that if we do see changes, it'll be in 4.5, not 4.4, but that's my opinion, and we will see that reflected by the end of February, most likely.
Like if that game gets like amazing changes,
I'm going to stay hopeful, and
I will 100% play that game again, like actively, because like this game is really fun when it rewards you.
Yeah, I have not given up yet, but I will agree. And, you know, apologies in advance. If someone makes a video on me disrespecting me or a post about me disrespecting me, I can't let that shit slide, because then that narrative flies around. I don't get to give my side. I'm going to have to correct all of these dumb saying untruthful shit about me. And I have, 100%. And I lay it down point by point. I don't cherry pick. I take every single point and I break it down. That way they don't deter these motherfuckers. That's how they've been for 3 years. For 3 years, they had me laying down like a dog. They did, but unfortunately, I do not wish to interact with any of them ever again, and I'm not going to let their bad-mouthing go unnoticed. I mean this genuinely. For every time they attack me, I will be responding. Every single time. People are going to get tired of it, but it's what we have to do. And I appreciate the hell out of all you guys watching those videos. Now, for those who are here about the boycott, let's get back into it. And also, I appreciate the hell out of the subscribes and the follows lately. It's been insane. On Twitch and YouTube, the analytics are through the roof. And I do think we can make substantial change if we do not give up and let these dumb deter us. Let's continue.
Yeah, help me out with that too, please. If you're new here, subscribe.
Sweaty nerds and greasy degenerates. As the title would suggest, it appears that the boycott, the sort of fight against the way the players of Genshin Impact have been treated, is failing, at least at this current moment in time.
I believe Zanyun is the highest selling unit of all time.
I wanted to talk about this because I was made aware of the revenue that they have been making for this currently active banner.
It's insane.
And they are breaking records right now, at least currently. Now,
I still think it's because of the New Year thing. I think that's why.
Just be aware.
So this might like drop off when the New Year thing's all over.
This is only the first couple of days or so worth of revenue compared to the couple of days or so worth of revenue of all the other banners. So just keep that in mind. We won't fully know.
For real, like what are you supposed to do when you have all these people who go online and talk about how upset they are with the game state, and then surprise, surprise, you pull up one of their streams or you look at their Twitter post like, oh, dude, I just see 6 Zanyun. Well, why would the company want to make change if you're still spending millions of dollars on it?
Truth about how well the banner did until after the 3 weeks of that banner has concluded. And also keep in mind, this is only the iOS revenue for the China market. This is just a piece of the pie. This does not include global. This does not include...
Dang, bro. We might be fucked.
Android. This does not include PC. This is just a piece of the puzzle, but it still shows us some awareness of how the boycott has affected their revenue, which does not seem to have affected their revenue very much at all.
Okay. This chick is really good, though, so that's probably why. I think they knew.
At least as it stands right now. Like I said, we need to wait till the end of this banner when, you know, the numbers would show a higher amount. We're still on like day 0, day 1 numbers here, so just keep that in mind. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, let's talk about this. The Zanyun and Nahida banner is very, very hype. I understand that. Well, first of all, before we dive in too deep, the only reason why I found out about this as early as I found out about this is because of another channel called Jello Impact.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
I like their content. They make good Genshin Impact content.
It's good so far from what I've seen.
They are coming from the perspective of someone that mostly uploads for Genshin Impact.
Yeah.
And they do support the kind of fight against the way they've treated players. So
the problem is that these people expect change overnight. That's the issue, right? You don't get to riot for 24 hours and expect immediate change. It's like with Reddit, when Reddit made these crazy changes to their platform, and people said, Reddit, we will riot for exactly 72 hours, and that'll show you. That's not how it works. You don't get a pout for a little bit. And that's why none of this shit works, because these people hold it against me when I've tried to continue to express my concerns, because expressing them once does nothing.
100%. You have to do it over and over and over. Otherwise, it gets you nowhere.
If we're not consistent, then they don't get it. They consider their community whiny ADD dipshits, and they're just going to ignore you. Because if you just wait 24 hours, then okay, it needs to be for longevity.
Just be aware of that. Don't go giving them any hate or anything like that. They weren't necessarily like completely boycotting the game in a way that they wouldn't upload for the game. They still do their uploads, but they don't support the way that players have been treated up to this point. They do feel, just like the rest of us, that
priority 1, provide for your family. Priority 2, enjoy the content so I can do it long term. Priority 3, make some sort of positive change. To those people calling content creators cowards for not speaking out, consider they may share these values, and acting on point 3 may violate point 1 or 2 for them. Personally, I actually do make YouTube videos when I feel like I'm having some constructive negative to say something about Genshin. I just made a video on how bad the artifact loadout situation is, as well as my thoughts on Genshin not giving good rewards like a 5 stars, like a star. Okay, Hong Kong Impact Star Rail. For the specific CN stuff, I have the feeling Hoyo would be taking it seriously, so I am in talks with Hoyo directly, and I will decide from there if publicly voicing things is the best idea, or if I'm going to give them direct feedback to them and write something up for the relevant parties to read. I will absolutely make my voice heard one way or another. As for my actual opinion, I think it would be easy for Genshin to throw people a bone and make good PR for themselves. It's baffling why they don't put in a little more effort.
They should be giving their players more rewards, etc., etc. I come from the perspective of someone that has boycotted the game, at least to a degree.
And I will say real quick, yeah, that's very true. Like, you do have to remember, a lot of these creators, this is kind of their revenue. You can't really destroy revenue like that. Like, Tectone has the privilege, or lucky enough, that he can play any game and still have revenue. A lot of these creators can't do that, sadly. And I feel like, again, I will say, that's why they do it. It's why they make these videos that are just praising Genshin and not really critiquing them.
I made a video about this not fully this situation, but how, Honkai Star Rail compares to Genshin Impact because of the way it's been treating its players. And I currently have not been playing the game since all this stuff started, because I feel like that's the best way to support this boycott and this fight against the situation, is by simply not playing the game. Not paying money in the game. Fight with your wallet kind of a situation. Also, one way you can
100%.
fight it is by just not playing.
Numbers are everything to companies.
Yep.
And if they see their numbers dipping, what do you think they're going to think? Oh, this is fine? Hell no. They made a gacha game, which is one of the most predatory genres of video games that you can make. You can paint it in this pretty color of, wow, look at my waifus. These games are made to make money and make
100%. And that's why I say, with any mobile game, be very careful with how you spend money. Because $3 adds up really fast.
Make a lot of money very quickly, and hiding all of the predatory symptoms in it by saying, oh, slot machine? No, this is wishing. Okay, they painted all these pretty colors. Oh, really high money make? No, you're just pulling for waifus and husbandos. And
a lot of them are good, but just remember, most of them you gotta spend money for.
Pretty much, they paint this shit where they try to make you feel like you're not gambling, but you are. Now, the thing is, these games can be very fun when played responsibly, just like actual gambling can be fun when done responsibly. But the problem is when, well, they release FOMO after FOMO event, which leads players to doing, well, some regrettable things with their currency and sometimes their time as well.
Playing the game, because
like, again, be really safe when playing mobile games or just games in general. It's like Overwatch was kind of hated for its loot boxes. This game is no different with that. It is pure RNG.
Giving them
Except
the
for the 50-50.
player retention numbers still counts to them. As long as they can show investors that people are playing the game, they will still get investment money for the future of the game. So
absolutely, and that's why people like, for example, Envy Asti, who says, I should be the only mother who should be getting praise in this community, does not understand, and, you know, bless his soul, he's just a little bit dumb, that's okay. He doesn't understand that time whales are just as guilty as people who spend money. Like, let's be real. If you're playing the game for 17 hours every day, grinding nonstop on stream, well, one, you yourself are giving the company insane player retention numbers, right? And I'm not saying this is something that he has to stop, but he should be at least aware of his actions, that he is not as guilt-free as he thinks he is, because he thinks that he's just, oh, well, I'm no part of the problem. I should be getting praised for what I do.
Yeah, and it sucks that is that way. It's like, he was trying to make a point, but in reality, you're not making a point. You're just showing your viewers that you can play this long and still, quote-unquote, have fun.
But the things that you were also saying,
and the company likes that, they'll push that out. They'll say, hey, you can even be free to play and play this game. Look at this guy. No, that's what they'll do.
Showing people is that if this guy can do it free to play this easily, then if I spend a little bit of money, I should be able to do it too. And then people who have spent money, who are getting outperformed by this guy's account because he plays 24/7 in Wales this time, are thinking, man, I'm still this bad and he hasn't spent money. I need to spend more money. People are
exactly what I was saying. It's what it does. It's like, even when your intentions are good, they can be bad.
Going to take your actions with ways that you don't mean them. But people need to be aware of that. Just like me, I can tell someone to not attack another content creator, and they can still do exactly that. And I'm fully aware of that. But the problem is that this is about a meaning. There's a more meaningful thing than these petty CCs fighting each other right now. Everybody taking shots at me, and don't get me wrong, I've taken shots as well because of issues that have perceived over 3 years of time. But this is more than just that. This is about being aware of your actions and attempting to better a game that currently we are distracting all the player base from actually doing, hence why the boycott can be perceived to be failing. Also, this narrative I really don't like, because putting out the boycott is failing is going to deter a lot of people, which is, you know, not good, because people are going to see, oh, it's failing, that must mean it's failed, okay, I give up.
That is one way you can fight it if you want it. But let's get into this. Jin Yun and Nahida, the rerun is doing crazy well.
It's crazy.
And I understand, right? Jin Yun, please correct me if I'm wrong on how you say that, by the way, in the comments. Constructive criticism is always appreciated. But Nahida is literally one of the best characters in the entire game. She's the best Dendro character in the entire game.
Is that true? Man, I should go pull one right now, huh? Wait, how is she better? How is she better than that jacked guy? Is it because of her Dendro expansion zone?
Because she's adorable.
She's EM enabler? She's better than Al Hatham? Al Hatham better DPS though? So she's just better at applying Dendro? I still won't pull her because she looks like a baby. Yeah, I know.
If you're running Hyper Bloom, you want Nahida. It's just kind of like, it's practically a requirement. You don't literally...
It's really annoying because what Dendro did to Genshin Impact is kind of what Death Knights did to World of Warcraft, where when they came out, you could play other things, but it's like, why wouldn't you just play a Death Knight? Like, why wouldn't you just play Hyper Bloom? And when things get that out of control, it makes it really unfun for players. Like, I generally want to ask this.
Yeah, it's like
why in the would anybody want to play Geo? Why would anybody want to play Geo?
Bro, I tried so hard to play Geo. I tried being a Geo main as a low spender. I don't remember her name, but she's a purple commander. She has like these little crystals you shoot. I tried maining her. It's just so bad. It's so bad. I got Albedo for her. I got another commander for her. It just doesn't work.
Why would anybody want to play Vaporize when you can just run Hyper Bloom and just brainlessly slaughter everything?
You have to have her, but like, I mean, come on. She's actually that good. Head and shoulders above anybody else. And you can see that because the third highest revenue up here, you can see for a day 0, day 1 banner is also Nahida, right? So it just goes to show that this is a very, very valuable character. Nahida, even though it's a rerun, is still...
Like, I actually thought the reason it was so expensive because it was Nahida, and that makes perfect sense now. Everyone wants Nahida. They see, like, I kid you not, I watch all these videos have a Nahida in the build. So that's probably why everyone's paying for it. I guarantee you, most of that money is spent on Nahida, and less of it is on Yun.
Still a very, very valuable character. And Jian Yun is also a very high value character because this is a fun new kind of play style. This is a highly anticipated character for the game. People have wanted, Cloud Retainer for a very, very long time. It's also a unique body type in the game. She's like really, really hot and a lot.
Okay, dude. She has a unique body type of being really hot. I mean, she is stupid hot. I mean, goddamn, bro. The things I've seen this chick do on the internet are actually wild, bro.
Tectone, come on now. Come on now.
Body types in Genshin Impact. This is a game made in China. A lot of, especially the female characters, have kind of small, sort of petite body styles. This is a tall, more like older looking character.
Yeah, imagine that people like that. That's a shocker, right? Wait, so does she have bigger boobs and bigger ass than Eula? Does she actually have a unique body type? Like, is she the most, like, does she actually have the biggest boobs and biggest ass? What about Shenhe? No, it's like her body looks just like Shenhe. Am I crazy?
Somewhat rare for the game. So this is a unique, hot, interesting, new, fun, fresh character alongside literally one of the best characters in the game. This banner is incredibly hype. Take a look at the other banners you see here. Do any other banners seem as powerful or interesting as this up here? You have Farina and Baiju. Yeah, sure, Farina's cool, but is Baiju as interesting for a rerun as someone as like Nahida? No. Nahida, sure, powerful. And Yoimiya. Is Yoimiya as powerful or popular of a rerun as Nahida? No. Venti rerun all by himself? No. Ayato.
How the did Venti's rerun by himself get 3.8? Like, that is actually wild.
Bro, don't disrespect Venti. He's an alcoholic, bro. Respect it.
Like, that is truly insane to me.
Yeah.
And Venti, no. Yelan and Xiao, yeah, kind of, but like, I don't know. I don't think so. When you look at all of the other ones here on the top.
I would also argue here, I feel like Xianyun and Nahida both sold really well, but I feel like the Farina banner is just Farina sales, personally. I personally believe that it's just Farina sales, because I don't think anybody's pulling for Baiju.
Of this list, nothing compares to the hype of this banner.
Yep.
So I get it. It makes sense that this banner is doing really, really well. It's very, very hype, highly anticipated. People are very happy as far as players go about this banner. So it makes sense that it's doing very well. However, it's also at the same time that a lot of players are boycotting the game. But something to keep in mind, right? With this whole boycott, with the fight against the, treatment of the Genshin Impact players, is that most players are probably younger players that probably don't even look at this stuff online. They probably don't even look at Twitter or YouTube or any of that crap. They just log in, they play their cozy game, and they have a little fun, and then they log out.
I think they kind of do. I just don't think they care. I think they see a hot character, they want it. They don't really think of the repercussion this is doing for them. They just see someone attractive, they get it.
They don't really care much more beyond that. It's a very casual game.
Because there's no way Genshin, for how big it is, these people aren't watching videos. If they're watching guide videos, they're watching drama videos.
And so players play it very casually and don't necessarily look up all this meta stuff or look for third-party outside information.
Yeah, we've been through all this before. I mean, obviously, Genshin Impact is paraded by a swarm of normies. Okay, no one is denying that whatsoever. However, I do think it is important for companies to listen to all facets of their player base, because if this is really the narrative, because a lot of people were saying this, like, why you should give up on boycotting and just play the game, but this is literally just saying, okay, well, nothing's ever going to change, so why the f would you bother, right? It's a very weak argument for what they're trying to say.
To play their game. It is a need.
So this is exactly what I said years ago, which is accept the game or quit. And that is entirely what is being said again. And it's the truth. That's what's truly sad. But I really think 1.3 million followers lost on Douyin is gotta be enough for them to say or do something.
I really hope. I hope it gets to Apex treatment where the whole community kind of realizes, hey, these events are bad. No, I don't think like the events themselves are bad, but the rewards in the events are bad. But with Apex, it's like everything's just bad. Like, respectfully, that game, I feel bad for the people who grind that game or have to do content on that game. They're constantly complaining and hating it. Some like it, good for them, but a lot of them hate it for valid reasons.
I know a lot of people say that that's not true, but I genuinely feel for 4.5 something's going to happen.
Niche.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Minority of players that even look at the YouTube stuff or the Twitter stuff. And so you already have a small group of the player base that even care about this boycott or fighting against the situation. And so when you're already dealing with a small minority that even care about it, even less of that minority are actually willing to fight the situation or boycott the game in a way that actually matters.
Yeah, they'll say, oh man, really don't like this game for 2 seconds and then go back to spending thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Most people just complain to
Apex, Overwatch, not really Overwatch, kind of. Destiny.
themselves. They don't unsubscribe. They don't stop paying for the battle pass. They just complain about it on Twitter, and then that's it.
Yep.
They don't really actually actively do anything about it.
And now that Genshin Community has a track record of doing things, because I guarantee, let's say a next patch comes out and there's a Dainsleif Archon quest, everybody is going to be like, oh, dude, game saved.
Yeah.
Oh, finally. Like, bro, it's just
Apex creators do this all the time.
so irritating.
It's like, you know the game's bad when this constantly happens. Or treats their players bad when videos like this constantly happen.
Man, like, it's been 3.5 years. Surely these kids have turned 18 yet. Surely they know how the world works. Surely, but they just
Listen, you'd be surprised how 18-year-olds act. They like something, they keep playing it.
time after time again, man. Just people just keep playing. I have not touched 4.4 at all. I have not spent $1, which really blows.
I
Saying
probably
would
am,
be
but I'm
cool.
not spending money.
But I just can't do it, man. My morals will not let me.
So you're already dealing with a small minority
And I respect that. He's doing his job. I respect it.
of players that would even want to fight this, and an even smaller minority of players that actually want to physically do something about the situation and stop playing the game or stop using their wallet to pay for things in the game.
On a side note, bro, I will compliment Genshin. Their trailers are amazing. They are awesome. It makes you want to play the game for how much effort they put in these trailers. Hopefully they put this much effort in actually rewarding you playing these events. That would be double down amazing.
It is a very, very niche amount of players
She's
in
so
comparison to the rest of the game and the rest of the pair.
What's her lore? Does she have good lore? Let me guess, something really bad and sad happened, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much it? Or did they finally do something unique? Like, does she have a tragic backstory, or is she just a bird? She's just a bird? Her lore is that she's a bird. She's overworked and
it's more than
sad.
that.
Ooh woo. Okay, so her whole lore is that she's just a bird. So that's it. So she didn't have like a story quest that was like, I'm so misunderstood and sad and alone. Cloud Retainer wanted.
It
I mean,
was
that would be a
something like
really
Arcane
good
War,
story.
right?
I would love that shit. Like, she's just going around everybody in Liyue. She just misses her disciples and comes to live in Liyue. Oh, she's sad and she moved to Liyue. Okay.
Player base that actually want to do something about this situation. So unfortunately, this is it's almost like a losing battle in a way. If enough people complain, if enough people do something to where you can instill some form of change, then yeah, you can get it done. It technically only takes one person to win a battle. But this is a really tough battle with such a small amount of people actually fighting this battle.
Yep.
And I do like Genshin Impact. Don't take it the wrong
And
way.
those people fighting the battle are getting harassed. Again, for the wrong reasons.
I love the game. I think it is a good game. I think it could be better, but
Yep.
making it better would be listening to their players and,
Yeah.
just improving upon what the players want in the
I'm going to play 4.5. I will be playing 4.5. I will be doing the story quest in 4.5. And we're going to see how the game is in 4.5. We're going to skip all of 4.4. We'll see if 4.5 has changes. If it does, we'll play it. I think they're going to say something. 4.5 is mid. How do you know?
and that's not something that they seem very willing
4.5 is a filler patch? Dude, 2 dead patches in a row would not be... Not even, what, 3 dead patches in a row? Like, what the f*** are people doing, man?
to do. If it ain't broke,
It's insane because Genshin Impact content creators will play Genshin Impact and their viewership will go down from them just talking unless it's Spiral Abyss. Like, what Like, what do people do, man?
don't fix
Yeah, I see those Spirals of Vis videos. I just see a bunch of C6s. I kid you not. That when I see those videos, I just say, oh, that's a lot of money spent.
it, right? And that's how they're acting.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about
Like, they're probably good too, but that's a lot of money spent for one team.
something else that's very important, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, sure, like 1 million people can like unsubscribe to one of the social media sources for Genshin Impact, and they might notice that and then use bot accounts to make it look like that never happened. But is that going to truly make a dent? Is that truly going to make the devs care? Because I'll tell you what number they actually
No.
care about. The only number they truly care about is the number that you see on screen.
Yep.
This is all they really care about.
Yep.
Their revenue.
Yep.
And if their revenue is unaffected to
Now,
them,
now, once again, it's not the number they only care about, because losing followers will directly influence the amount of money they make. If less people play the game, it will affect their revenue. Now, some part of me wants to believe that they would have made even more if this boycott didn't occur, and perhaps that number would have been somewhere up here, but maybe I'm just coping and hopeful.
Yeah.
But certainly,
No, he's definitely not. Like, how I'm saying this is like, yeah, that's a lot of good money, but this is during the Chinese New Year's. So I want you to really think about that. They could have made like 6 or 7 mil by the end of this. They're probably only gonna make like 5 mil now. So this definitely did an impact on how much money they made, because people don't realize this is on a holiday that they're getting this money during protest, compared to the other banners that weren't on holidays.
surely the will of the player base is not that weak, right?
or at least seemingly unaffected to them, then they're going to keep doing whatever it is that they want to do, right? You could boycott the game all you want, but if we don't actually make a difference, if we don't make a dent in this amount of revenue that they're making, they're not going to care that much. And even if they do give us more rewards or, you know, some more interesting fun events, etc., it's going to probably be pretty minimal unless we really see something like big.
Like, I see this down here. This looks good to me. But at the same time, I guarantee you, we're not getting any primo gems. We're getting maybe 60 to 600. Maybe.
From the players. Like when Zhongli came out and people sort of boycotted Zhongli, but when they boycotted Zhongli, they bought with their wallet. They refunded payments that they had made in the game. That made a change because
Absolutely.
they were seeing chargebacks. When the developers started seeing
I didn't even know that you could do that.
chargebacks, they were like,
You can, but like, I think it's very risky and like you getting your account banned. A lot of people do it in Call of Dragons, so it's like, you gotta be very careful with it.
oh no, whoa, pump the brakes. We got to do something about this. And they buffed Zhongli, and they've never done something like that ever again. And that's because the player base hasn't reacted in that way ever again. There's a lot of nostalgia with this game. There's a lot of the feeling of, I don't want to miss out on my progress in this game.
Yeah.
That is how players act. And if they continue to just keep pumping this game up with paying for the battle pass, paying for the express pass, playing the game,
offense.
giving them player
The battle pass in that game does not look good.
retention, the developers will never take notice of this and actually do something to change the game. So I've been yapping for a long time here.
That
I'll
was a good
stop
pen.
yapping. I'm sure more information about this stuff will come up.
It will, but I 1,000,000% agree. Vote with your time, vote with your wallet. You can't just say you want betterment for Genshin Impact and then do
And
the
then
exact
spend money.
opposite.
Yeah.
Play the game non-stop and spend thousands of dollars.
That's like what Apex does, Destiny does, and Overwatch does. They complain, but they don't stop spending.
You just can't. And that's why it is so frustrating, is because these devs would have the opportunity to listen to us, but they just view us as mindless idiots. Because they know we're still going to consume. And it's a shame all of these people, not just content creators, players alike, who say this and then do that. If you want the game to change, you have to give them a reason to. And right now, the reason just isn't strong enough. It's just not.
Damn, that was a very fast video. So, Harold's also an amazing game.
Like, we got a huge... We
I actually want to show you what my comp section looked like today. Real quick. Again, this is what people think of Tectone. What he's asking for, like improved transparency, fair rewards for players' engagement, and addressing players' concerns aren't unreasonable requests at all, which it isn't. Like, again, I'll repeat this, I'll be a broken record. Tectone does not want your game to die. He wants you to be rewarded better. Players invest time and money into the game, and it's not unreasonable to expect transparency, fair rewards, and genuine commitment to improve the overall player's experience. It's disheartening to witness the game. It's disheartening to witness. Hold on, I gotta zoom this in. My fault. It's disheartening to witness the Genshin community dismissing reasonable requests for improved rewards as excessive. Tectone is merely voicing his concerns that align with the time, dedication, and investment players pour into the game. 100%. And I would not be on Tectone's side in all of this if he was just being a dick to be a dick. The recent in-game rewards, like the 3 pulls for playing, feel woefully inaccurate. I cannot say that word for some reason, considering the commitment players make. It's crucial for the community to recognize that asking for fair and meaningful rewards is not demanding too much, but rather striving for a game environment that values and respects the players' contributions. I cannot speak today. It's crazy. Tectone's effect is advocating for these changes should be applied for addressing fundamental issues that would ultimately enhance the overall game experience for everyone. 100%. Like, it would help everyone. I don't see anyone would hate this. It is only giving you more in return for playing the game. You don't lose anything. If you think about it, every event gives you the minute of 3 wishes, kinda. But then again, this event is a little different. It is to celebrate the Chinese New Year's. It's very disrespectful that you're only getting 3 wishes while Honkai Star Rail is getting 20 wishes, a free character that's a 5-star character. Guess what? That's technically, for if we're stretching here, 80 pull. Okay, that's a 80 to a 160 pulls guaranteed character. You got a free 5-star. That's insane. At this point, Hoyo won because no one cares about the 3 wishes anymore, and everyone goes after the loudest voice asking for change. Kinda. If you want to look at it that way, sure. The reason why people hate Tectone so much is simple. To be honest, he's a white man that's successful. I don't think that's it, but it is. It was a part in Arcane, so I understand that. I get that. That's the world we kind of live in nowadays, and it's easy to make him out to be a bad guy, especially when Genshin stands. It's quite a shame, to be honest, especially when Tectone's trying to save Genshin, a game that has much potential being wasted. 100%. It is a shame because when I look at Genshin, it is an amazing game. It has amazing characters. It has an amazing story. And I feel like when the community finally kind of changes a little bit to a positive light, where they're being rewarded better, they're being treated better, this game will be another game of the year. It's like, I don't see it as game of the year anymore. It's nowhere near that. Because it has lost a lot of the things that it should have had. Okay, next question. Everybody's mad at Tectone because he's advocated for changes for over 3 years. Again, this guy does not have to be still talking about Genshin. He's doing it because he wants the game to be good. He actually likes the game. He likes it for what it can be and what it could be. While the game was at the perfect game time, it was never perfect. Changes needed since day one. 100%. He's a little abrasive, but that's just the way that's just his way. If you take it personal, grow the fuck up. Truth is not meant to be gentle. It's meant to be provoked. Yes, it's meant to be very blunt. When you sugarcoat things, it doesn't help. It means to provoke, reflect, and improve change. He was never wrong about the Genshin takes, never. That's sad. Nice video, lad. Oh, this is brand new too. Thank you. Basically, this is me explaining Tectone who he is. BVRD. Oh, he plays Call of Dragon. Cool. So yeah, like, people like here say the same thing. Tectone's not a bad guy. He's genuinely trying to help the community. He gets painted in a bad light. Again, I guarantee you, Hoyoverse does play a little part into it in its little content creator program. I guarantee they talk about this not to really be around Tectone. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, let me know your thoughts. What are your thoughts about Tectone? What are your thoughts about this event? Is this event good? Are you still mad about the 3 wishes? If you are, please explain why. And if you didn't, who did you pull for? Because I want to know who you pulled for. Because there's no way any of you watching this video didn't pull for this character. Almost $4 million. I know one of you did it. But with all that being said, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and share. All right, peace.